Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 90th Minute Whistle podcast. I'm your host, Leon, with my co host, Mario. And it's all about the Euros today.
All right. So what you like? What have you seen so far from the
Uh, Germany's disappointment. The French are parking the bus, but nobody wants to call it that. Italy looks really good. Belgium has all the weapons, but let's see if they will be the bride and not the bridesmaid. England is lost tactically, as always. Netherlands are okay, but they don't fill me with any like confidence. Spain won't go far because they can't finish their dinner. Russia and Ukraine are fun to watch.
I would say Ukraine, not Russia.
Yeah, Ukraine is fun to watch. Yarmolenko and Yarmouk are creating a storm. The big teams other than France, Italy, they all look average. Like France is parking the bus, and they're just exploiting Mbappe's pace, and everybody like nobody wants to call it what it is, but the champs is just pulling a Marino, but
That's what the
nobody
no,
wants
but
to admit it.
The Shams is that type of manager. He always been that type of manager. He's a counter attacking manager. His counter attacks look good, but he's a counter attacking manager. I can tell you that
Yes,
from
he's a
months.
Jose Mourinho. So I don't know why everybody's like, oh, they're having like this great. No, France ain't all playing anybody. France was going to sit back, defend, and then exploit Mbappe's pace on the counter. That is France tactical plan 101.
I won't even say
They
just his
actually
pace.
perform
I wouldn't just say.
better.
Go on.
Like they played better football in the World Cup, but now they're just like against Germany they just parked the bus. And if Germany had a proper striker, they would have probably lost that match. Like all of like France's chances came on the counter because they did not break down Germany at all. They just won the ball back in midfield and exploited Mbappe's pace. That's all they did. And they did that for 90 minutes. And everybody wants to talk about, oh, they had such a great performance. Bullshit.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was
Here's the
no
thing.
great performance.
Here's the thing. My question to you is this: do you think France are holding back?
I don't think they are. I think nothing hasn't changed in that France squad. It's the same French squad that won the World Cup. They're playing the same style of play. There's nothing to hold back.
I wouldn't say that
Actually,
because in the World Cup they played a lot more.
this France squad is actually a lot more beatable. Yeah, they're a lot more better in the World Cup. This French squad is beatable,
Rabiot
but
wasn't
nobody
a part
wants
of the
to
and
like admit it.
Rabiot and couple other players weren't a part of the World Cup. But
Only
I get what
three
you're saying.
players
The
wasn't a
manager,
part of it. Only three.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, I know. But
Benzema, Rabiot, and another one.
Ben there, if he's there,
No,
I
Ben Yedder
remember.
is there. I'm talking like in the starting lineup. It's only three: Rabiot, Benzema, and somebody else who wasn't a starter. Kimpembe. I think Kimpembe was it. Because I
Kimpembe
think it
was
was
at the World
Umtiti
Cup.
and Varane
Yeah, but Kimpembe
was
was
at
at the World Cup.
was at the World Cup. Yeah, but those
Yeah.
three persons in the starting 11 against Germany that didn't that wasn't at the World Cup. And when you look at that French squad play, like they are very beatable. Like Germany had the opportunity and the chances to put them to the sword, but again, Germany doesn't have. They have not replaced Miroslav Klose. They have not replaced Mario Gomez, and that is the reason why Germany will not go far in the tournament because they do not have a clinical striker. And unless Timo Werner somehow finds his Leipzig form or his form that he had on the national team before he got to Chelsea, I Germany will not go far in the World Cup and sorry in the Euros. They will lose, and the reason why they would lose is one, Low is wedded to the 3-4-3, and for some reason he refuses to change it, but it's not working. Two, they lack clinical ability in the final third. There's no real goal scorers in that squad,
I thought
right?
Son would have been that for you.
Yeah, but Sane has been shit for the national team. He's been shit for Bayern as well. So these are reasons why he was left out of the squad in 2018. Because again, your performances for the national team are poor. And this is not a sign that is coming off of a very good domestic season. His performances for Bayern was also poor this season. So you have Gnabry is okay. Gnabry will get
No, but
you
Gnabry is more
goals.
of a creator than a scorer. It's the Robin Ribery thing.
Exactly.
It's the Robin
Muller
Ribery
has
thing to talk
never
about.
scored in the Euros. Never. From 2012 Euros, 2016
No,
Euros,
he's a World
Muller
Cup guy.
has never scored in the Euros. Muller has scored in the World Cup because, that's his bread and butter.
But here's my
But
thing though. Why not
go
turn
ahead.
Muller into a 9? I get that at club level you don't do it, but why not do it for the national team?
Because they are probably going with Havertz as a false nine, which I can completely understand.
But if somebody
But
if you're gonna use Havertz as a false 9, don't use a 3-4-3.
exactly, don't use the 3-4-3 because it's not working. And my problem is that everybody knows Germany has very good depth in midfield. Lau is trying to fool the team of all the good, great midfielders when the team would perform better just playing a 4-3-3. You can our 4-2-3-1. We won the World Cup playing a 4-3-3/4-2-3-1 hybrid. So I don't
Well,
know
both.
why you
There were
are
matches. There were matches where it was a 4-3-3. There were matches where it was a
exactly.
4-2-3-1.
We had matches where we had Schweinsteiger and Cruz as the midfield pivot, with Ozil as the number 10,
And there are
with
times when
Muller
it's
on the
Khedira,
right.
and there's times when it was
Exactly
Khedira,
where we
Cruz,
had
and
kid. Exactly. So why are you forcing yourself to play a 3-4-3, especially with Goretzka being out injured, where Goretzka would have be given you that
box to
threat
box
from
midfield.
outside. Yes, exactly. Someone
High
running into the
energy in the
box.
midfield.
And now you're having Gunnagan having to partner Cruz as the pivot in that midfield too, where it would be better playing a 4-3-3, using Khedira as that box-to-box mid, running into the box late,
All
something
right,
that he's
that's the
excelled at this
question.
season. So,
I don't think it's Khedira you're talking. Because Khedira
sorry,
retired.
Gunnagan. Sorry, Gunnagan, not Khedira.
Yeah. Um, Quick question: Would you like a midfield with Chan at the base of it and Gundogan and Cruz, allowing Gundogan to push forward into the box, as you said, as more of an attacking mid, and allow Cruz to control midfield, but also allow Emre Can to sit in front of your back four? If you're going to switch to a 4-3-3,
If
would
I'm
you?
going to put anybody in front of my back four, it's going to be Kimmich.
No, the reason why I use Chan is because I thought you were going to continue using Kimmich as a right back. I don't know the
But we
defenders that you
don't
brought.
need to.
No,
We
that's
don't
what I
need
said.
to use Kimmich
I
as a
don't.
right back.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know the defenders that you brought.
But even if let's go with that because Kimmich will be the world class right back the only world class right back in the squad, right?
Yeah. And
Let's use
Goosen's
using
and
that
let me just say one
Goosen's
thing
left
before.
back.
No, but Goosen's not a natural left back, and that's a problem if you're
No,
going to
he's
back
not.
four, because he's really a natural winger, a pure winger who just works very hard defensively.
Yes, but
And
this season he got into the
Atalanta,
Bundesliga team of the season. Well,
not
not really team of the
Bundesliga,
season, but he
Syria,
still, yeah, he got
and
there
that's
playing as a
but
left back.
no, he got there playing as a left wing back. Atalanta doesn't use a back four.
Oh yeah, he's a wing back.
That's why I said that he may be a liability. The same thing with Marvin.
Yeah, but we
Schultz.
even had Khan playing left back at one point in time for us. Madness, I know, but it worked.
He's not really madness. He's a utility player.
He's a good footballer.
Yeah, he's always been
And
a
hear
utility
what?
player.
I know. I hear Omega City and Marzine.
Mm-hmm.
We are Germany. I don't give two fucks about any other team. Play a wing back at wait name there.
At fullback. I'm not saying it cannot work, I'm not saying
because
it cannot
they
work.
want
I'm
to know
saying
something. You have Joshua Kimmich who can come in and form a back three, which allow Goosen's to push up and
push
join
forward.
the attack.
No, but that's why I think he uses the 3-4-3.
Yeah, but again, the 3-4-3 is killing us attacking wise. And for a team that does not have a striker, you need to create as much chances as possible because you can't finish it. We cannot finish. And this is why a lot of persons really can't wait until Lau leaves and Hansi Flick takes over,
That's my
because
next. That's my
Flick
next
is going
question to
to
you. No, but
use a 4-2-3-1.
that's my next question to you. Do you think that this team is the team that the players themselves? Do you think that they as well are just kind of saying, let's just get this tournament over with
It
and
looks
get a
that
fresh
way.
start?
I'm telling you, it looks that way. It looks like the players are just in freak this shit. It doesn't look. This Germany team doesn't fill me with confidence. I don't feel like, yeah, I know the potential of the players that they have, and yeah, if they all turn up, then yeah, we're favorites for the tournament. But I'm being honest with you, I don't see this Germany team going far. Matter of fact, I don't even see how they're going to get out of this group,
All right.
because
How you
everybody
think?
else that they're playing against are clinical strikers.
All right. How do you think Portugal has played? Because I think Portugal are.
Um,
Well,
they are deceiving. They are deceiving. Persons, you look at the 3 goals that they
I
scored,
a
but if you watch
hundred
that
percent.
match,
I a
if you
hundred
watch
percent.
that match, they should that's not a 3-0. And if Hungary had took their chances, they would have probably tied up that match, or Portugal would have lost that match.
All right. Here's Hungary's biggest problem. Hungary's problem is not a striker. Their striker is pretty good. Their problem is creating chances for said striker. You know,
Exactly.
one of the biggest problems in that Hungary Portugal match that I noticed that Adam Sazai, who is let's just call him a Bundesliga veteran, because he's been through the Bundesliga with multiple teams and had his best spell, I think, at Hoffenheim during that Sebastian Rudi era with what's your coach name? Nagelsmann?
Yeah.
Yeah, that era of Hoffenheim. Saza is a good player. He's for national team he's always stepped up. Like I said, I don't think he should have been the leader of the national team. I think they should have brought Balat Zuchak, who is kind of their Yarmolenko.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand his age, he's about 34, 35. But you need that leader in your squad who's also a creator. I think Adam Sazai is a pure number 9, or well, he's more of a target man now that he's aging because he doesn't have the legs anymore. He cannot create for himself. He's not that type of forward. Now, of course, when he was young and he's more of a number 9, he'll try more dribbling. But he cannot create for himself. And you left also a player named Kalmar. Now, Kalmar is like Neymar, but an attacking midfielder. He's a good dribbler, creativity, all of that stuff. I haven't seen the guy from Leipzig. Dominic Szoboszlai.
Yeah, I think he's injured.
All right, so that means your 3 best attacking players aren't at the tournament. No, you brought a deep line playmaker in Adam Nagy, but he's just a deep line playmaker. So how much can he really create for you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you had Kalmar with Nagy and you had attacking midfielder, deep line playmaker, then that's a bit different. I had Balat Zuchak and Szoboszlai out wide, then Hungary will be playing much better. Also, one of Hungary's best defenders didn't play. Orban and Gulaxi in goal, and we know Orban, but Thomas Kadar hasn't come to the tournament, and he's been their leader at the back, despite the fact that they had Willy Orban. He's always been the most consistent Hungary defender. If he didn't do it well, he wanted a better team than Newcastle because he was playing for Newcastle for a while, and he was actually doing pretty well. The problem was Newcastle wanted to use him as a fullback, even though he's a natural centre back, and he didn't work out in the Premier League because of that. He's not a fullback. He can play, like he can deputize there, but he's a centre back. And he ended up leaving Newcastle, and his career, he started everywhere else since, but they're not good clubs. So I don't want to really bring him up. But he's a good player, he's a solid player. And he's always played well at Euros. The last Euros, he was a part of the Hungary team. So they're missing 4 key players, and Portugal are playing similar to how they played the last time. Of course, it's the same coach and whatever. But what I mean is that Portugal did not perform well at the last Euros, despite them winning it.
They didn't. They did not. CR7's brilliance got them through the rounds.
And I wouldn't say CR7 I would say CR7 and Juarez. And Nani, Nani pitched
brilliance,
and Renato Sanchez got player of the tournament, right?
Yeah, when he was the biggest factor.
Exactly, he was the biggest factor. And then Quaresma popped up with important. Well, CR7 had his goals, so I'm not going to deny him of what he did. But at the end of the day, Portugal did not outplay anybody at the last Euros.
No, they did
None.
not.
And
And
it's the
then
same
Pele
thing
got
this
lucky
year.
with a strike from outside the box that swept on the Lloris
Eddie.
that had Eddie, yes, that got them the winner of the tournament. So
Lloris should have saved that
he
shot.
should
And
have,
that shot,
as course,
and
he
they
should
had
have
too much,
saved it.
and Eddie had too much space. Me and you constantly talk about that throwing all of that.
Gignac kicked the ball in front of the goal. It was harder to miss than to score. So and him do the impossible. He missed it from off of the goal line. So
my question to you is, do you think Portugal can lock their way through this competition?
They can.
Because here's the thing. Their midfield pivot is very defensive. Yeah. Very, very. They don't have any box-to-box midfielders on the field. They have two defensive midfielders who play the same style of play. Sit in front of the back four. They have good technical ability. Don't get me wrong. Danilo Pereira and William Carvalho.
Yes, that is the midfield people that they're using.
Yeah, but they didn't use that last time. Last time it was Renato Sanchez and William Carvalho, because you wanted a high energy box-to-box midfielder who could create, which was Renato, and then you wanted somebody to sit in front of the back four, which is William. Now they're using two sitting midfielders and basically saying, okay, our defense is going to basically be two old center backs, two very powerful defensive midfielders to cover for those center backs. Because now
they're using Ruben Diaz and
Pepe.
And Pepe.
Yeah, yes. But
and they have Semedo and Guerrero.
But
so only Pepe is the only one without pace in that back four.
Yeah, but they also brought Jose Font. So I think that he's going to be a part of the mix eventually. Even if it's Pepe that they brought.
I think it's because Cancelo wasn't there why they brought him.
Who?
I don't think they brought up Joao Cancelo with them. He wasn't in the squad yet, the last time they played.
Yeah, but he's a fullback, not a centre back. But the whole set, but even Semedo and Guerrero, I get that they're very good fullbacks, but and they had good fullbacks the last tournament. So Portugal isn't short of that. My question is, do you think they can continue to not play better than teams and win?
The problem is this Portugal squad has match winners all over it, unlike the last one. And yeah, the last one had match winners, but they had match winners on their last leg.
They were old, yeah.
Now this is a squad that has
too many injuries.
Bruno Fernandes, who is world class. You can arguably say he's challenging KD for the best midfielder right now in world football. You have talents of Joao Felix, Diego Jota. You have Rafa Silva. You have Bernardo Silva. You have a CR7 that always shows up. It doesn't matter what, he always shows up. So they can be because of sheer quality.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that sheer quality wasn't true. That sheer quality.
Yeah, but you see the difference between this Portugal squad and the previous Portugal squad is that this sheer quality that they have now is ripe and in their prime or about.
Yeah, but based on the match I watched against Hungary, Fernandes wasn't good. Bernardo Silva wasn't good. Rafa Silva
they were all below their usual levels, and yet they still managed to score 3 goals.
Yeah, but it was also late, and I think it's one of the things.
It was just the red card.
Yeah, but it's not just about the red card, but it's the same thing I told you about the Peru match last night. Peru didn't deserve to get 4-0, but once that second goal went in and it was already late in the game, it's like they switched off. So they just let in 2 more goals. I thought what happened with Hungary. After that second goal, they just said, all right, then cool. And then a third goal is scored. But the decision making from Jota, Fernandes, and Bernardo Silva was below par. CR7 wasn't in the game whatsoever. In all fairness, Jota should have picked him up for some passes and whatnot. All right, you said that England is a tactical miss. Expand on that for people. I think he might cut out. But this England squad so far has been, I wouldn't say below par, but I don't see the direction they're going in. I noticed that, for example, that I don't know what their midfield will consistently be. I don't know who their wingers will consistently be. Are they going to continue using Foden not through the middle? Are they going to switch to a 4-3-3? I don't know if their plan is just strictly Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice.
Yeah, I can see that. But
so expand. You specifically said that they're tactically.
Yeah.
I just wanted to expand on that for the people.
Yeah, because when you look at let's look at how England is playing right now. Let's look at the options that England has, the tactical options that England has, the abilities and the player capabilities that they have. One, you have two left backs coming off of a brilliant season, and you're up to put two right backs on the field. You are using two defensive minded midfielders.
Yeah, but they're two different types of defensive.
Yeah, there are two different types of midfielders. But let's look at how the team plays overall, right?
And I don't think that hold on, before you say that, I don't think that two right back thing is something they're going to do all the time. I think it was just for that match in all fairness. Now if they do it again and I'm wrong, cool. But I don't see that as consistent.
What in God's name could possess you to start two right backs in the first place?
Like
Southgate's problem, you know what Southgate's problem is? He wants to keep everybody happy, and that is not going to win you a tournament.
All right, I've also been hearing that as well. Because let's be honest. Southgate
he brought four right backs with he brought four right backs with him because he couldn't decide to bring two.
Yeah, you have to leave out somebody.
And he doesn't want to do that. And it is that sentimentality which will allow him to not win a World Cup.
But here's the thing. Southgate has been the most successful English manager within the last 10 years.
Define success.
He did better than...
In the 2018 World Cup, they only played two good teams on the run to the semifinals.
I give you that. We've had that.
Belgium, that Belgium that put out their B team and they lost in the group stage, right? And then a Croatia team that they lost to.
I get that. I get
teams that you played against.
I get that, but
you lost to them.
Yeah, but name the England manager that has gone as far as he has in any.
Because no other England manager has been fortunate enough to get that type of run. Other than Roy Hodgson that got knocked out against Iceland in the Euros. Yeah. But in all other competition, the 2014 World Cup,
but I think that when he was hired, when Gareth Southgate was hired, one of the things that made this squad function, I think, is his sentimentality. So my real question is, if he changes that sentimentality.
I'm not saying he needs to change the sentimentality. I'm saying he needs to be ruthless. He needs to be decisive. Decisiveness is what top managers. All right, look at. Let's use France as an example, right? France wanted to go Mbappe, Griezmann, Dembele in the World Cup. That didn't work out. What did they do? They dropped Dembele, who was hot on form, brought in Giroud. What happened when they brought in Giroud? Griezmann and Mbappe were allowed to do their thing, right? They dropped Benzema from the squad, and they dropped Benzema before they even had a star in Mbappe that they could say, could fill the void of Benzema.
Yeah, but in all fairness, France have been
Benzema
pushing out talent.
Is the best French striker. As much as you love Giroud, Mbappe, and Griezmann.
No. Talent-wise, and for the national team, No.
if he
Just
hadn't got
overall.
the
Just
drop, if
overall.
he
Just
hadn't got the
overall.
drop, he would have probably equaled Harney's record by now.
Here's the thing. Overall, and again, I cannot blame France for dropping Benzema. It's his fault.
No. It's his fault that he got dropped. But I'm just saying, big managers make calls that either influences the decisions to win the squad. I understand Southgate wants to keep a good, harmonious environment, and he wants to have that feel-good factor in the squad.
What up? Not the feel-good
because the problem that has plagued England in the past is tribalism from club coming into the national team and creating
we know that.
Destroy the harmony. So I understand why he wants to keep the squad harmony going.
But that gave him his success from the under 21 level.
Good. Yes, but
I'm not talking about just feel good. I'm not just talking about
measured by we made it to the latter rounds, or success measured by winning trophies.
No, success is measured by winning trophies. But I'm saying no manager within the past, since we've been alive, since me and you have been alive, have gotten this much out of any England squad. Whether it was the golden generation or slightly before the golden generation became what it was. The other generation
is the same problem Southgate is running himself into. You're trying to fit too many talents in one squad and you end up throw everything out. The golden generation tried to fill a midfield, tried to put Lampard, Gerrard, and Scholes into a midfield together, trying to force all of them into a starting lineup.
I wouldn't say that. They played Scholes out wide.
Yeah, that's what I said. They tried to throw them into a starting 11.
But that could also work, but they shouldn't have played Scholes out wide.
They never have the tactical mind.
All right, here's the thing that I wanted to ask you. Does Gareth Southgate's success so far, meaning that the ultimate success is the trophies, right? Mm-hmm. That's ultimate success. But we know that managers can be successful with a national team without winning trophies, meaning that how the team plays, how many matches they've won, how far they've been in tournaments. Ultimate success is to win the tournament. I'm not saying no to that. What I'm saying is, what I want to ask you is, and I think this may be the last question, but what I want to ask is, being that Gareth Southgate has been the most successful manager so far for England, do you think it will crowd his decision making, being that because from his I'm trying to look from his perspective. I am not Gareth Southgate. I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes. I haven't been knocked out further than a semi-finals, right?
You haven't been to one tournament.
No problem. But do you think that will cloud his judgment, is what I'm saying? Because it's not like it hasn't worked, is what I'm saying. Granted, it's not perfect. They got an easy run to the World Cup semi-finals, and when they finally faced a team that that will challenge them, they lost. When it was also most important.
I think it will. I honestly think it will, because like I said, when you break down this squad, or when you look at that starting lineup going into the match, like Sterling scored, but did Sterling deserve to start that match? No.
Why would you say Sterling didn't deserve to start?
Sterling had a very poor season compared to the other options that you had. You had another Sancho that put in another team that got him another Bundesliga team of the season performance. You have a Grealish that, as much as I don't like him because of how he plays, performed better than
you. You don't like how Grealish play? You don't like how Grealish play?
No, I don't know. Because he's a damn diver.
You mean that?
He himself to the ground at the slightest.
Come on, we know that
contact.
Listen. We know that Jack Grealish is the bad boy of England squad. He's the guy that is the Neymar-esque of that squad. He's the villain. Maddison is the good boy.
And both are extremely cocky for players who have not accomplished anything.
I know, but and again, in comparison, Maddison is the good boy. If we're comparing the two.
But fine. Grealish deserved to start that match over Sterling. That's it. Sterling scored. But the chance that was created was made by a Leeds player who a lot of persons underrate or don't put respect on his name
Because he plays for
them just say,
Leeds.
oh, he's playing for Leeds. But it just shows that they ain't watching ball, they ain't watching what's happening.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Not many players can play under Marcelo Bielsa. Same way not many players can play under Maurizio Sarri. Same way not many players. So I watch that more. There's not many players. Listen, Bielsa's midfield is his bread and butter, in my opinion. When it comes on to control, just the way he plays and how total football is incorporated, that specific midfielder that sits in his midfield, whether he's playing a 4-1-4-1 or he's playing a 3-3-1-3, that midfielder is very important. Arguably the most important and most important piece. So I don't judge. Me and you have a different opinion of Calvin Phillips and even maybe most England people. Because I see him as the...
You see the biggest thing that I see, and I'm not an England fan, right? But I'm a football fan, and I see the talent, and I see like granted, yeah, my Chelsea boys are in there, so I'm kind of biased, but I see the talent. I see an England squad, and I said to myself, say, yo, as much as we make fun of English fans about it's coming home, but it actually can come home.
Listen, that's been England for forever. They've never had a not talented squad. Name a not talented.
No. Yeah, but I'm telling you, this England squad, and I'm putting my neck out there.
All right, here's the thing. You know
this
that England
squad puts the golden generation to shame.
I disagree with that.
And the reason why he puts the golden generation to shame is just the sheer depth that it has.
No, but that's where I disagree.
The world-class depth that it has.
No, but that's where I disagree. Like, there was world-class depth.
Come on, Mario. Harry Kane. Let's look. Harry Kane. Harry Kane, Sterling. Okay, who was the backup for Rooney? Name the world-class backup for Rooney.
They are Jermaine Defoe, and he was world-class at the time. Granted, he was playing for Tottenham, who wasn't a world-class squad. The overall squad was world-class.
Fine.
But he was specifically.
Jermaine Defoe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Darren Bent wasn't a world-class player, but he was one of the best strikers in the English Premier League at the time. He wasn't a world-class player.
Darren Bent. When you see Darren Bent on the field, Darren Bent.
Dominic Calvert doing world-class? Ollie Watkins world-class? I would say that they are the
Rashford world class.
No, cool, but
I remember Rashford played striker for England.
Cool, I have no problem.
That's why for Kane.
No, but that's why I use Defoe as the example. Rashford is taller.
Yeah, but just listen to the depth in that attack.
Ashley Rashford, Young, Walcott, and Lennon were playing Champions League football.
Ashley Young compare because they were united.
And I'm not talking.
But in terms of talent and ability, Phil Foden, Sancho, Grealish, Mount, Sterling, Rashford, Kane,
Mount, Lampard.
They are better.
Mount was better than Lampard?
They are better.
Was Mount better than Lampard?
No. Lampard is...
Hargreaves was all right. Hargreaves was
on his two legs. Don't even mention Hargreaves.
Hold on, relax. Because what we were speaking of was a depth. I am saying there are every England team has had depth at that time. The golden generation had depth. They didn't use it. They didn't use Michael Carrick or Owen Hargreaves whatsoever and then complain that they didn't have a Busquets type there. Bullshit. You had two. You didn't use them. You preferred Gareth Barry. And in all fairness,
I give you Carrick.
No.
Carrick was the biggest, most... How would you phrase it? It is criminal how they did not use Carrick.
But all right, but what I'm saying is Hargreaves was a Champions League winner with Bayern as a starter. We get that when he came to the Premier League, he got injuries a lot. That's different from saying that they didn't have depth. Depth means that you don't have depth. All right, you know what I mean? You know what I say? You know what I say when you didn't have when you don't have depth? You remember when Jermaine Genius was starting for Tottenham or Newcastle, any one of those? You had to call Jermaine Genius for England. That's different. And trust me, I'm one of the few people who liked Jermaine Genius as a player. He was a good box. Just a good one. I'm not saying he was great or anything. He was a good,
He
adequate
stole
Premier
a
League player.
living as a footballer, and I stand by that.
Cool. I'm not going to argue your opinion on that. Everybody have their opinions on different players.
But I'm telling
But
you, Mario,
what I'm saying is what I'm saying.
Listen, the biggest difference between both squads, the
Yeah.
golden generation had a tribalism factor, and this squad, they all
Definitely.
know each other from when they played. They
Under
all came through the youth
21s.
ranks together.
Under 20,
Which
but I would
is
say
the biggest factor why Spain, Germany, and France has always been so consistent. All their stars, the national team, has been playing from under 17s World Cups coming up.
I would say even worse with Spain. These guys have been in academies together. Let me use a simple example for the people. Xabi Alonso, Mikel Arteta wasn't even though he was in the Spanish golden generation. I think it's only the 08 Euros he was a part of.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't a part of the last.
Cazorla find it hard to break into the.
No. Cazorla and Mata. No. Cazorla and Mata were a part of the World Cup.
Yeah, no, they were in the squad. Them just never.
No, but they played.
Breaking into the starting level.
No. They're not going to break in the starting level. Fabregas couldn't make the starting level.
True.
Granted, he came on and scored the World Cup goal. And made assists for the Iniesta World Cup. But Fabregas was one of the best midfielders in the world at the time.
Yes, like Granted, top 5 midfielders.
Exactly.
One of the best playmakers in world football. And
Fabregas grew up with Piqué, Messi, Busquets. Xavi Iniesta grew up with Arteta and Xabi Alonso. Even though Xabi Alonso ended up playing for Madrid, because Xabi Alonso was a Barca boy. Arteta, Barca boy. Funny enough,
Piqué, Puyol, Valdez, Alba.
Pepe Reina, yes, he's a Barca boy. So a lot of these guys, Juan Mata was in Madrid's academy. A lot of these guys end up not just playing in the same team, but also coming from the same academies. And I would say that
meeting up for the same under 21s, under 18s,
yes,
under 19s,
which is why
the same camp.
Which is why Argentina's golden generation has been such a disappointment. They've won everything youth level wise together. They beat everybody at the under 21 World Cup. Then we'll say, all right, can you do it at a higher level? They said, all right, then we'll beat you at the under 23 Olympics, because the Olympics is an under 23 competition. And that Argentina golden generation went to that. Then they went to 3 straight finals and couldn't win one. So we understand that the tribalism in the squad, because I remember was it Jack Wilshere? Which Arsenal player did move to Man U? Or Welbeck. Welbeck left Man United. And when he went back to the English national team in his first season at Arsenal, he said he couldn't sit with the same friends because he wasn't playing for Man U anymore. So they ran him off to the Arsenal table. I didn't even know that there was an Arsenal table. There's an Arsenal table, a Chelsea table, there was an Arsenal table, a Man U table, a Chelsea table.
Yes, they were. And they did not mingle with each other.
Exactly. And a national team cannot work like that, because the point of the national team is this is where we set aside all of that.
One thing I give Southgate props for was that he ripped that apart. He ripped that up.
No, but
he created a cohesive unit of players.
Yeah, but he was their under 21 coach as well. He was their youth coach.
Yes, he was.
No, the one
he was. I remember Lampard and a couple other players going back there, and I think he's like, don't call me whoever. I think Lampard was one of those players, or players from that generation, like sat and they talk with Southgate and be like, yo, this is why we fail. This is what you have to avoid.
I would say Neville and all of them. I would say a lot of them talk to Southgate about that. I wouldn't say it's just
like one. This is what you need to make sure never happens.
All right, one question I want to ask you about the Southgate thing before, because I also want to make a French point. Do you think gaining success in the wrong way can blind you? Is what was the question I read.
It can, because it doesn't show you your
weaknesses.
And when you come up against a team with same caliber players or better, that weakness is going to be exposed. And I do not want this generation of England players to go through the same shit that the previous generations had to go through from the English media, which is the worst media in football. They are absolutely the worst in terms of how they talk about the national team, or they break a lot of players.
They break a lot of players.
They are the biggest reasons why playing for England is seen as a chore for a lot of the players in the previous generations.
Yeah, because there's no joy that comes from it.
Like every national press takes their national team through the gutters after a bad tournament, right?
But they don't dwell on it though. They don't dwell on it.
They don't dwell on it. And I'll use Germany for an example. Failure at the 2018 World Cup, dropped out of the group stage, embarrassment. And for about 2 weeks, everybody cussed. And then after that, it was about how are we going to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
How do we move forward? Exactly. But
everybody in the media, in the sports circles are talking about how do we prevent this? In 2002, we lost to Brazil. And we went back and said the same thing. How do we prevent this? 06? Same thing again.
You went to a semi-finals in 06, which in all fairness, you could have won.
Say, yo, we could have won. Okay, how do we make the next step? You'll be like, you know what? We need to change the academies. We need to change how we're developing youth players. And it was a nationwide reform.
Yeah, and you got a golden generation. Yeah, but you got a golden generation out of that.
Through 2010 World Cup, going into it, young squad, young experience, and what did the media do? They backed the squad up to the highest level, and after they finished third, they came back home. They were hailed as heroes. They were praised. You know, they'd be like, "Yes, young squad, a bunch of 20-year-olds. You guys did more than we expected. We loved you." 2014 World Cup. The players went into that knowing that, yes, this is
and
us.
England has broken a lot of its talents because
England has broken their players.
Jack Rodwell was a very good player at Everton. He played okay at City. He was never going to start over Yaya Toure or at the time it was Gareth Barry. But Barry was actually one of the top Premier League defensive midfielders. And even when Barry left, you had what name? Fernandinho coming in.
Yes.
So
you know who I fear for the most?
Who that?
Is Foden. The media, English media, is notorious for hyping up English talents. Yes. And the moment they have a bad season, they rip them down.
They're shit. But I mean, look at Ross Barkley. When Ross Barkley was coming out, I said it myself. This is a midfield version of Rooney. This is an attacking midfield version of Rooney. But again, and in his first season at Everton, they hyped up Barkley like he was supposed to be the next Rooney, right?
Yep, no, the second coming.
But I was saying, yes, he has that potential, but give him time for growth. Same thing with Jack Rodwell. Give them time.
Which is why Pep did the same thing with Foden and Sarri. A lot of persons criticized Sarri for how he handled Loftus-Cheek and Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he did the same thing. He managed them properly. He kept them out of the spotlight. He kept the media away from them. And barring a freak injury at the ending of that season, which robbed both of them of the chance to develop further and resetting their development, they were showing why, Foden is showing why we need to be patient, why managers need to protect young players, why managers need to take like,
go?
Yeah, because Foden has learned. He has been able to learn, and he's been put in a place where you don't have to perform under pressure. You can just play your natural game, which is what young players need. The ability to play your natural game.
You don't have to think.
Play without feeling like, oh, if you make a mistake,
it's all over. It's worse
you're going to see your name in the papers the next day. The best thing I can say now is that the English pundits now are not the ones in the previous who the pundits now back their players to the heel because they know what it feels like to be criticized left, right, and center.
Yeah, remember I know. Micah Richards was one of the best right backs at in England when he was starting for City. Remember, Micah Richards used to start over Zabaleta, and I used to want to tear on my eyeballs. But at the end of the day,
you have Lampard, Rio Ferdinand, Lineker, who again, these players, they know what it feels like to be criticized on what they're doing. Gary Neville's, the Phil Neville's, even what's his name again? The former England manager, Glenn Hoddle. They are backing their players. They're heaping positivity on the English camp. So when you look up any news article about the English camp, all you can see is positive highlights. You see Mount and the guys playing basketball. Like, I don't know why they're playing basketball because I don't know.
No, that's good. That's good. As long as they now push the pace with it, that's good. No, you need to play another sport.
You see that
all right,
unit,
I would use another example. You know why Brazil squads will never turn against Neymar?
Mm-hmm.
I always told you that Neymar is the first viral football star, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
Yes,
I've always said
he's our modern day Beckham.
He's a dressing room dynamite. Even from he was at Santos. When Neymar came into the Brazilian national team, he was playing ping pong with Dani Alves. When the matches weren't going on, like let's say that they were at camp, he's the guy that's trying to bring everybody together. Hey, let's do some dancing together. Hey, let's play some ping pong. Trust me, like the ping pong tournaments in that Brazilian national team is electric. The ping pong, trust me. Alves, and you remember Sandro from Tottenham, the defensive midfielder? He was also a part of those ping pong tournaments. Granted, that 2014 World Cup was a bad performance from everybody, but there was unity in the squad.
Which is what you need, which is the first remedy for success on a national team level is unity. And what I realize now with this generation of England players is the national team first, then club loyalty after.
But that's how it's supposed to be all. That's how it's supposed to be for international football
England
overall.
Before it was your club loyalty superseded your national team loyalty, and that can never work. And if again, I would say Southgate is not the best tactician there is. But it is one thing I will give him credit for.
He's a good man manager.
He's a very good man manager. He has managed the media properly. He has kept the media away from the English players. He has created a unit and he has created a family within that team. And that is the recipe for success for England. What I want to see from Southgate is be tactically free,
and
be tactically flexible, be tactically decisive, and allow your players to play. Give them that freedom to go out there. Yes, I understand that you need a unit and a family unit, but when it comes down to your starting 11, you need to be decisive and you need to be able to make the big calls. They're playing against Scotland today. I do not want to see Walker or Trippier in that starting 11. Both performed badly. Both do not deserve to start in this match.
All right, here's the thing.
You might have won against Croatia, but let's be honest, that Croatia team is the poorest Croatia team.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. You see, we kind of throw around the words poor and stuff like that. It's not a poor Croatia team. It's a transitioning.
Okay, it's still a good team. Croatia team then.
I wouldn't say that either. Like I said, it's a transitioning team. I just think the star players, we know the star players, but Croatia is going through a transition. I know the young players for Croatia, so maybe my opinion might be different because I know the young players. They're transitioning. That's what's going on in Croatia right now. They're transitioning. Modric, I don't think did they even bring Rakitic?
I don't think so.
Exactly. They brought just Brozovic and Modric because Modric is the captain. Brozovic is their best midfielder right now. Kovacic and Brozovic are their best midfielders right now. In terms of both youth, because both are in their absolute prime. Both are in their 30s now, or late 20s, meaning 29, 30. They're at that age now. And to me, they're the perfect replacement for Modric and Rakitic. I think it's what else is around them is much more changing. So, for example, the front three that Croatia used to have were you had Olic, Perisic, and Mandzukic. Kramaric just had his best season in the Bundesliga. Bayern is even interested in him. And I said interested. I never said they're going to buy him. I never said he's their first target. I'm saying they've shown interest in him.
Kramaric is not a bad player.
No. And Ante Rebic had his best season in the Serie A, but again, my God, will you stay fit?
Good question.
Come on, like he'll play 5 games, score 3 goals, gone for the next 5. That cannot work. And I hate seeing it because he's such a good player. And then they don't have an out and out number 9. Rebic is tall, Kramaric is tall, but neither of them are out and out number 9s. You know that Kramaric can play on the left wing, right?
Yes, I know.
He's tall, but he's not an out and out striker. He's more of your Alexis Sanchez. You remember when Suarez was younger? He fits into that category. We call those strikers centre forwards, second strikers. Yes. That's what they are. Rebic and I think Jovic is as well. Jovic from Serbia.
No, I think
he's not an out and out number 9.
No, I
don't think so. I don't think so. Because if you look at Jovic's season where he played his best football, he played with another striker who is an out and out number 9. Jovic is a Aguero type. He is a, and again, I'm not saying he cannot play through the middle as a number 9. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he's naturally what you're saying. I don't think he's naturally a number 9. He can play there, just like Aguero can, just like Suarez can, or even develop their game to where they're just number 9s when they're older. But they weren't just simply number 9s when they were younger. I remember when Man City tried to fit Tevez and Aguero in the same team, and I ended up seeing Aguero out on the left and Tevez through the middle. Then Tevez moves out on the left, Aguero goes through the middle. That's the type of striker that Jovic and Rebic are, even though they can play as number 9s. Which is why I was asking you the question, why wasn't Madrid trying to use Jovic and Benzema as a strike partnership, where Jovic could play off of Benzema? Deeper question for anybody. But the next question I wanted to ask you. You said that Francis Parkin, but which they are? The reason why I said I don't judge Francis' first match that much, I think they're holding back. I think France is one of those teams that can flip that switch. I also credit
it's the old German.
You take the word out of my mouth. But you know, literally, but just want to tell you, I credit the steer German national team. They will look normal through the tournament, and when it's time to split that switch and beat that team 5-0,
yes,
they will.
Yes, when the knockout stage is the deeper they progress is the better they become, and you don't want to be the team that has to face them after the round of 16.
That's
normally when they start.
Oh my God, Isak finished that goal. Isak, you're disappointing. Come on, bro. I've been following. You know how long we'll follow Isak, brother? From him in the Swedish league.
Long, a bit too long.
Because we know him from his 16. Again, we know him from his 16.
When I'm watching these players, it's like I said yesterday, Donnarumma, and it's like, yo, remember when you start at 16 and now you're like, we're talking about Hakim and you're like, is Hakim like 24? I'm like, no,
he's 22.
Like 22.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh yeah, because he's from like 17.
Yeah, we've been watching him since he's 17. So, and by the way, Isak is having a great Euros. Just look a bit more. Just look a better service.
Him just need
just
to
and look a bit more service. Look a bit more service.
The rumors are that Liverpool wants to pick him up. Like they contacted. They said that Jurgen Klopp contacted Dortmund because Dortmund has a buyback clause on him.
They do.
So they wanted to see if Dortmund is going to activate the clause. You know?
I think they would have to
because
lose.
You know,
I think they would have to lose.
The Chelsea and the Haaland, which is why I think they're probably holding off, because if they lose Haaland, then Isak is a very good replacement. But yes, Isak is a damn good striker. He deceives you, you know. Persons think because he's so tall, he doesn't have good dribbling ability or good pace.
He
has all of that.
What have I called him since he was younger? He's their new Zlatan.
Yep.
Many people did not. When Zlatan was at Inter, Juventus, or his early AC Milan days, or even his Barca days, most people didn't think he would fit into that Barca squad because, he's our number 9. He's not a Barca type of forward. Bullshit. He's a complete forward.
Yep.
Mandzukic has had to live with that label as well, where you're labeled the out and out number 9 because of your Lewandowski the same.
And these things.
Yeah,
when
but
the truth and in fact, you are complete forwards.
Complete forwards. Lewandowski,
Mandzukic, you don't have to wait on a midfielder to pass the ball for you.
You can turn. Yeah, and you can turn and take on players. Lewandowski, I think Shevchenko went through a little bit of this as well, where because of my body type, and Van Persie as well, because of my body type, you underestimate my dribbling.
But it works in their favor because defenders are caught off guard when they dribble past them.
Exactly true.
Like persons I know.
Benzema the same.
Exactly. Like again, look at Lewandowski. Person like, Lewandowski. He's the best striker. And I'm like, he's been one of the best strikers in the world for a long time.
Whoa, you realize that in first Dortmund season they win the title, right?
But again, like I'm saying,
people remember that he could have beaten Mandzukic and he could have prevented Bayern from having a Champions League.
They could have.
So when
the biggest problem was that team Goetze was missing from that attack.
He didn't play the final.
No, he didn't. He was injured.
Oh, all right. Well, cool.
He was injured.
And Kagawa was at Man U by that time.
Exactly. He was.
They never have a backup. They never have a backup attack.
They never had a backup for Royce at the time because they didn't bring in Mkhitaryan as yet.
No, and Perisic and Kagawa were sold from the first title-winning squad.
Yep. And everybody knows that Marco Reus and Mario Götze combination.
Might include Blazhakowski. We need to stop act like Blazhakowski.
Okay, Blazhakowski as
technically, he's the Willian of the squad, but still, we need to include Blazhakowski because he's the one who works the best with Lewandowski. In all fairness, those crosses into Lewandowski, exactly. And then he had Piszczek behind him.
It was the two Germans that really made it.
We're not deny that, but we just want people to give Kuba and credit.
Yes, no, Blazhakowski was a key and actually the Blazhakowski was what made the entire system work. Because like you said, he was the Willian in that squad and he was the one that
the workhorse
he never stopped
running. Exactly. The workhorse would run back and help cover for Piszczek. He allowed Piszczek to go forward a lot more because he was
this man was covering for both Royce and Goetze when both of them forgot that they need to drop back into midfield to stop counters.
Exactly. I just want people to give Piszczek
you need those players to allow flair players to work,
And he was a good dribbler. And he was a good dribbler. Good crosser of the ball.
That Dortmund front four was devastating on the attack.
I get that he's the Willian of the squad.
Where they were going to pick up.
I get that he's the Willian of the squad. I just want people to give him credit. I just want people to give him credit.
He was a key component to that. And like you said, strikers are labeled these days. Oh, target man, he can't dribble. You know who's suffering from that right now? Lukaku.
Oh yeah, Lukaku was a good dribbler from he was at Anderlecht. As a matter of fact, I thought that he was overweight at one point.
He was overweight.
Because
he has shed a lot of. He's more lean now.
That's the thing. I thought that Lukaku was a bit overweight, so he couldn't dribble as much as he
Lukaku's problem that he had was his hold-up play, and sometimes his first touch kind of.
First touch. I think his hold-up play has always been good, but all right. So when you keep the ball long up to him, that first touch would normally go.
Yeah, for trap the ball and
it would give him extra work.
Kind of bounce off him.
Yeah, and then you would have to do extra work to get it back, or sometimes it would end up slowing down the play.
The attack, yeah. But he has always been a player. He always know to use his strength, to use his body. He always had pace to push the ball around and get past
dribbling. And he is underrated dribbling.
Look at the goal that they scored for Thorgan. That was Lukaku made. Lukaku run with the ball, created the space for KDB to come in to trap it in and
that's why
take the pass and put it on.
But the last Belgium team, one of the reasons why they couldn't work is because when Belgium were just starting to develop, like 2012, remember they were using Benteke and Lukaku as a strike partnership.
Yep.
Then they switched to the
Under
4-3-3. Wilmots under
never
Wilmots. Then they
under
switched to the
Wilmots,
4-3, and
but
then
it
they
couldn't
switched to
work
the
because they
4-3.
have no fullbacks.
Exactly.
It was 4 central defenders.
Exactly. So the 4-3-3 ended up not working. And then Benteke
Martinez coming, switched to a 3-4-3.
Exactly. So there are a lot of strikers who don't get the credit for being good dribblers because of their bodies are off the alternate number 9 belt.
And it
My
just
God,
shows that a lot of persons have
Isak
forgotten.
need a goal.
A lot of persons have forgotten Ronaldo Nazario.
Of course. He's a complete foul.
Because
Complete foul.
they seem to forget that his body type is not the one that these persons now would associate with a player that has blistering pace and can dribble.
Dribbling and
While this man was collecting the ball on the halfway line and dribbling past the entire defenders, waiting until they get back into position and dribble past them again.
You know who reminds me a lot of Adriano at Inter now? Lukaku. Lukaku. Adriano was an underrated dribbler because his body size was kind of big, and he had the striker instincts of a number 9. But Adriano was a damn good dribbler.
Like, I don't know where the correlation comes from. That because if you're tall, if you're tall and have a stocky body type,
Patrick Schick,
you can't dribble. I don't know where that come from. I don't know who made that correlation.
All right, so I've been watching Slovakia match while we've been recording this. That's why sometimes you hear me reacting to the whole Isak thing. But he's been playing damn. And by the way, Sweden have some good strikers. Kaysen from Mainz. Mm-hmm. He's a good creator. Creator/striker. And they have John Guidetti, who's a La Liga. Like, he's been through some teams in La Liga. He's always played well, but he keeps playing for shitty La Liga teams. Go back to Feyenoord. Stop hype up yourself. Go back to Feyenoord. You can go back to Feyenoord and make a career with it. Mm-hmm. Just to even keep your name in the spotlight, but you can't keep going to, okay, I scored 10 goals for Deportivo Alavés in La Liga. What are you going to do for your career? All right, I scored 10 goals for Celta Vigo. Go somewhere else where you can actually push your career forward, even though it's kind of too late for him. You know that Guidetti was in Neymar's generation? He even created his own free dribbling trick.
Yeah.
That players follow. Research the Guidetti flick. For the people who are listening, research the Guidetti flick. And you'll see that this player was supposed to be. They're allowing Forsberg to take the penalty. I thought they would have given it to Isak or Kaysen because those are your strikers. You want to get your strikers in form. And Forsberg finishes. And I think that's all we're getting off the podcast because they have work.
Yeah. Once that's where we're going to end up the podcast. It's Forsberg finishes.
All right. So, are you a leader show? Yes.
So, we'll be doing another podcast again. We'll be covering the Euros, Copa, CONCACAF. Yeah. I want to have a podcast on American football. There's a podcast strictly on American football. But I'll call you later and tell you why.
I was thinking about that, but that's what I said. The reason why this is the Live Sports podcast, and I think we can discuss this in front of the fans. The Live Sports podcast is what I wanted for that.
Oh, to cover sports, yes, to cover sports.
Yeah, but
the intricacies of sport.
The reason why I don't commit to an NFL podcast is because their season is very short, and their off season is very boring. Yes, it has some moments. Their off season has some moments that you can talk about, but it's not consistent enough for me to commit to a strictly NFL podcast. It's not enough. And then we don't watch the CFL, which is the Canadian version of football. No. And we don't have time.
No, I don't even know one team we're playing. Listen to me. I don't even know where for 5 to watch.
Hey, shout out to my little cousin because he might play in their league.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you know that I have a cousin that acted in a Marvel movie? A Marvel TV
really?
show? We're going to talk off here. No, legit. Apparently Mario the only one in the family now with talent. But that's how I love sports.
Stick to what we're good at.
It's not that, but I mean,
Um,
these guys, I mean, these cousins that I have grew up in Canada and the US, so the opportunities are there. So,
Exactly.
but yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, the reason why I don't commit
Yeah.
to an NFL or a basketball or any of those parts is because of how their seasons are, and their off seasons is not like our off seasons. We have to watch the transfer market day in, day out.
Yo, Godman's like a job.
Exactly. Their transfer windows can be
Yo,
exciting, but
a special mention to Tottenham because I know them can't find my manager and
oh no, I've said it a
about
thousand times. You
poor manager no
dumbasses fired.
turn.
You dumbasses should not have fired Jose when you did. It was stupid.
You fire
And
Jose
hold on, you know
because
what
you
is
see
funny?
that the
Hold
Super
on,
League money go come.
no, hold on. My thing is this: one, you shouldn't have fired Jose, even if you wanted to move on from Jose. Do it at the end of the season when you win the League Cup. Because to me, Jose would have won that League Cup.
Of course, Jose won that League Cup.
The next thing is even if you want to say, well, we want a younger manager, new ideas, cool. Next thing, you do that at the end of the
learn under Mason.
Well, Mason learn under Jose, but
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you don't make that managerial change unless you know what your options are.
And there's no options available right now.
Paulo Fonseca failed at Roma. Are you wanting to come take over Tottenham? To do what, sir?
The Premier League?
I gave this manager every chance at Roma. I tried as much as possible not to turn against Paulo Fonseca. Granted, I give him his props. He isn't a manager that is afraid to change his philosophy or his tactics. I will give him his props on that. I'm sorry he's not a Premier League manager yet. He's barely a Serie A manager. Granted, he had great success at Shakhtar. I saw him in the Serie A. Roma are playing in the Conference League, UEFA Conference League. I'm so ashamed. I'm not even going to watch that dog shit. I'm sorry. I not will watch it. By the way, shout out to Jack Grealish. If you come to Roma, I would love it because you claim that you want to play under Mourinho. Our Roma have a little money for spend, plus them have a squad player outs to do. So who knows? But him say more play under Mourinho, and that would probably be the only reason why he comes to Roma. And again, I don't think he's actually going to come. I'm just saying. And again, we wouldn't need it. We have Zaniolo, we have attacking. We have wingers and attacking midfielders, Galore. Defenders we need. Oh my God, Isak is just running ragged over Slovakia. And he has no finishing product in this case. He need a goal. But yeah, the shout out to Tottenham because like I said, I mean it was just who if there was a time to fire somebody would be now. Like somebody in Tottenham's back room needs to be fired. It was a rash decision. I don't know. Maybe they thought
needs to be fired.
Yeah. He's the name I was trying to remember. But yeah, Ronald.
He thought the Super League money was coming in.
Or that shouldn't change your managerial decision making. That still not mean say you have to change your manager. As a matter of fact, if my Super League money is coming in, I would love to have an experienced manager who knows how to win trophies. That's a Jose type tournament. Let's say the Super League even came through. That's a Jose type tournament.
Yeah, man, a Jose stomping ground that one.
That's a Jose type tournament, sir. All right, so that's it for the 90th minute whistle for now. We'll be back later. And then, oh, by the way, we need to do a sports one as well because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you guys.